Shalom, shalom. All right, before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, safety to the elect, all over the four corners of the earth. Shalom. It's Brother Rival Moth out the Atlanta church. And this is James 1:1. It says, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahweh Shai, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So James was sending out to who? The 12 tribes, okay? The 12 tribes of Israel that were scattered. So it just goes to show that this was given to, the message was to the 12 tribes, and the 12 tribes were scattered, okay? Scattered all over, and it's still that way today. And Yahweh Shema Shai, you can even go back, to the slave trades. You can go even now, Jake is all over, mixed in with the different heathen nation. That's why the Lord is going to separate, the wicked from the righteous from the wicked, because there's Israelites that have grown up among the wicked, but they're Israelites, you see. And Yahweh Shema Shai is going to do that sifting, and because remember, all the good getting kept, which is the righteous. So it says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall in diverse temptation, right? Because why would you count it joy when you're being tempted, or when temptations come? You can count it joy, because that alone lets you know that the Spirit of the Lord is working, okay? It's working, within you to test you. And that's what is, that's what has to happen, when things, when Yahweh Shema Shai have, his Spirit upon you, he's going to test that. When he give you that gift of faith, he gonna test that gift of faith. And it always a great way to measure, one of the greatest way to measure if you truly gonna stick with Yahweh Shema Shai, is that you have to go through some type of temptation and prove yourself to Yahweh Shema Shai. You can't just say it, well, yes, because you lie easily. So the best way to handle that is to do what? Take you through a process of being tempted, being tried, being to see whether you truly gonna be with Yahweh Shema, if you truly gonna stand for the Lord, and the great men that came before us, in the scriptures, the prophets, they had to do it. Yahweh Shai had to do it, himself, and he passed that test, you see. And we give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through Yahweh Shai. You see that? So it's great to tell the Lord the water, because without him, it would not be possible for us to get back in the good grace, mercy of Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, right? See that? So the trying of your faith, right, worketh patience. So as you get tried, as your faith get tried, guess what? You suffer. Okay? Now once you suffer, guess what? You should already know, hey, my faith is just being tried. So I'm preparing for my faith to be tried, and that the Lord would give me the strength to continue to push past this test, to pass this test of being tried, so that when I do, I become stronger. I'm proving myself to the Lord, because you don't have to worry about proving yourself to the next man. You standing in the trenches with your brother, but you trying to prove yourself to the Lord so that you can receive salvation from the Lord. Because the brother you standing beside, he can't grant you salvation. You see that? It's a long self road that we have to pass, but we're fighting for the whole nation. If you understand that. You see that? We're fighting for the whole nation of Israel, the elect. Well, we're fighting for the elect. The whole nation gonna get it in the kingdom. Because the 2/3 has to go through their punishment. The 2/3 of the 12 tribes. So we're fighting for the elect. You see? You're fighting for yourself and the elect, man. You know? So you have to go through these different tests, different trials. Let me keep going. So like it. Oh, let me get a precept. Yep. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 12 and 8. It says, a friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hid in adversity. Right. A friend cannot be known in prosperity because you ain't taking them through nothing. Y'all friendship is not being tested. Yeah, you saying it with your mouth. He's saying it, or she's saying it with their mouth. Yeah, you know, you my friend. But guess what? The one thing that has to be tested is the friendship to see if it will pass. So it has to go through some type of adversity. It has to go through a test to see if you truly gonna be down with your friend. You see? So, you know, once that happened, then yeah, that's my dog. You know? It's the same thing. That's what the Lord is doing with us. And the Lord is telling us you can't prove a friend can't be known in prosperity. They haven't been tried. And you ain't went through no test. You see? And then it says, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. Because if he's your enemy, when adversity come, he gonna show you that he's your enemy. He's not gonna miss that opportunity to show you that he's your enemy. You see that? You think Esau gonna show you that or miss that opportunity to show he ain't missed yet? This nigga ain't missed yet. You know, he haven't missed yet. So guess what? You can't miss then. If you proving yourself to the Lord, you can't miss. When that when that faith get tested, you can't miss. So it says a friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hid in adversity. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. See that? So you have to, once you understand that, then you understand more the process of why we have to go through these trials and these tribulations and these different tests for our faith. We have to prove ourselves to Yahweh Shema Shai. So back in James 1 and verse 4, it says, but let patience have her perfect work. So we got to suffer. So you have to suffer then. So that faith, it's going to work in patience. We have to suffer. Patience goes into suffering. So we got to suffer for the Lord. Okay? We got to suffer. That's the only way you can prove yourself. Did not the Lord suffer for us? He proved himself through suffering. You see that? He went up on that cross. He had to suffer for us. You see? And he proved himself. We must do the same thing along this walk that we're in to prove ourselves that we are with Yahweh Shema Shai, and that we want that salvation. You know? So it says, verse 4, it says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. I'm going to read it in the NLT. Verse 4, it says, so let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. See that? And we're aiming to be what? Perfect and complete. Once the job is completed of the elect, receiving this, getting this knowledge, then guess what? It's game over. That's when Yahweh Shai is coming to deliver the elect. You see that? Everything, all the prophecies will have been come to pass. Okay? You know? And it's game over then. That's when salvation comes. At the end, you see? But this have to happen first though. You have to become what? Complete. perfect and needing nothing. You see that? Verse 5, back in the KJV, it says, if ye lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh Bashemah Shai, that give it to all men liberally and upbraid it not, right? He gonna give it to you freely, and he ain't gonna take it back, okay? And it shall be given to him. It says, shall be given to you, right? It says, verse 5 again, it says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh Bashemah Shai, that give it to all men liberally and upbraid it not, and it shall be given to him. It says, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed, right? Wherever it go, you're not stable, okay? And the Lord is going to give you that faith or that wisdom if you need it, and he give it to you freely, and he don't take it back from the elect, you know? As long as you doing what you need to be doing, then guess what? Yahweh Bashemah Shai gonna do what he need to do. You know, that you know, without even, you know, have to go without even being said, man, you know. So so that's, you know, what it is, you know. We have to just stay the course, you know, continue to fight in the spirit for the truth, for the salvation, you know, and hang in there to the end, you know. So I'm gonna end it. That was it, you know. So I pray that this was edifying. Like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, safety to the elect. Shalom.